Hey YouTube, just getting there, 2 seconds while I do my usual faffing about trying to get the thing which you should be able to do, but can't. And then I've just got my top chat, live chat. Hey Scott from Baltimore, how's it going? I am 8 minutes early, so I'm going to play the guitar for 8 minutes. Stereo guitar. Maniac. Hey Daniel, everyone's early this week. I might have to start early, but can't start drinking till 8 o'clock. Yeah. Sounded a bit pro wearing headphones. A Yamaha SG200. I like the 200. I had one. The reason I didn't like mine was it was very heavy, but also it had been like stripped, so it just kind of looked like wood. And it's like my pal had a white one, it was really good, or my ex pal had a white one that I really liked. Hey Big Peds! Well, we're starting early this week then. Hey Victory House! Did I switch all messages on, dude? I think I did. Well, it says live chat, so yes. Instead of what I did was, when I started up, I didn't say hello YouTube at the start. Instead, I did the 5 things that I need to do after I've hit record. Then I said hello YouTube, so I'm kind of ready. This is a black finish. I think the one I had was it's kind of been oiled, and I just got the impression it had like a gallon of oil in it. It kind of almost felt damp. You know what I mean? Because it. I really like the pickups in it. I bet you the RG 430 would like the thingy. Hey, how's for you? How's it going? You change your name, but how's Dunoon? How's the other side of the water? Dark. And Merry Christmas yourself. And that's it. It's getting lighter now. That was I do have all the lights off just now because I thought it looked quite cool. Kind of evil. There's one of my white tellies on eBay. Which white telly would that be? Like a Yazuki? Or something like that. Yeah, but as I'm saying, so that it's as dark as it's going to get, so now the sun's going to start coming back up again. The 20th of December is the solstice, I believe. I'm intrigued with one of my white tellies. Or you mean the Ibanez one? Hey, I'm Wales. Everyone seems to be in early. A Yazuki? Wow. I'll need to look it up. Did you say on eBay, you say? I need to remember to look that up. That's interesting. I've never seen another Yazuki. Apparently, a couple of folk, or somebody told me that they remember the guitar shop in Greenock selling them in the early 80s. Meteors. I'm live streaming. I don't know if I'm pretty sure it's not. I don't know. I don't know what the weather's like. Not been out since earlier on, and it was pretty much. I was coming back, and the weather wasn't too bad. It wasn't like raining or overcast. It was kind of high up clouds, and it was 2 o'clock and getting dark, but not just through rain and general mankiness. Sounds good. Still got another 4 minutes before I can start drinking. But I am currently in I've got 2 sets of elixirs sitting there. What am I going to put them on? And I don't know. Hey, Ben, Mark. Hello, Mark. So what, does this get like, I just picked this up. This is the first time I played this in like a couple of months. And I got this after I moved in here. The strings are gone. And this was, I'm pretty sure this isn't the cheap, the Harley Benton or the Aria Pro strings. I think this had, no, it probably is the cheap ones actually. Love this Bluebirds. I can't believe this guitar though. I can't believe it got to the point of one of you guys messaged me to say, and it was just basically, it was a strap with this neck on it. And I never thought, I would easily have paid £100 for the neck for this guitar. The guy even messaged me after a couple of folk had sent me it. The guy selling it going, how come you're not buying this? And it's like, and it's like, and my pal Ronnie actually bought it. He was sitting there with it going, what's that Roadstar with the body you've got? It's up here on. I was telling him all about it, and I got it in America, and I got it through, and he's like, up here looking at me as if I was stupid. He's like that. It's like, oh my God, that neck could go on it. Huh? Amazing. Oh. I got the blues. Got the reds. And on my new camera angle, I think I must have set up the camera wrong at some point. I don't know how high the quality is, but certainly there's more of it. I think maybe I'd kind of zoomed in or altered it to take in the wee room I was in before. This one's actually wider. You can kind of see both sides of it. Means I've got to keep it sort of tidy or just dark. Aye, so bad news about the Rolling Street Cube though. I got that last week. Loving it. Jen was a bit jealous of it. And got one at a car boot sale this morning for £25 cheaper than I paid for mine. Bastard. What I hadn't really thought of there is I like clean and clean with chorus with single coils. This doesn't have one. I didn't put a push-pull pot in it. I don't know whether I should. Should I? Surely the point of having one pickup is it's got one pickup. There was even thoughts before I got the neck for this of putting a P90 in the neck. Oh! Oh! 1959, we're almost there. I'll go for the old back pocket. Where are you getting that chorus from? That chorus is coming from my new Rolling Street Cube, which I've been using a Rolling Cube for the last couple of months because you can break the headphone socket on it so it doesn't disconnect the speaker when you plug something in, and I just plug it straight into the USB device and that's it. And what I found out here is if you use an insert lead, it's actually stereo. So it's like a jazz chorus. It's got two speakers, so it kind of, is it the left speaker is completely unaffected and the right speaker is delayed or altered. So if you're listening to me playing chorus just now, and you turn your balance all over to one side, I'll not be playing chorus. It'll just sound, both of the speakers alone just sound unaffected. If you would want to do it. So you can switch me into mono and you won't hear any chorus. If you just listen to the left-hand channel. But it's also putting stereo reverb on as well. It just kind of goes like that a bit. Well, cheers, Bucky time. It's 8 o'clock. It's time. Yeah, I might have even. Well, there's thought of another Rolling Cube as well, which a red one. I said somewhere before I'd pay an extra £20 for the red one, but it would involve selling my other one, which I've kind of ruined by. Well, is it worth more with the head? It must be worth more with the headphone mod, and it must be worth more the fact that you can stick a tube screamer on the top of it with Velcro with its own power supply. Maybe. Cheers. Possibly the last bottle of the year, actually, isn't it? And in this light, there's no way I'm going to be able to tell what thing it is. Nah, it's too dark. I can't see it at all. It is. I'm going to have to go and check, but I'm pretty sure that's a number. That's a number 1. Is that a sign? That's too bright. I can't see it because it's too bright. It is. Bottle 01. What's going on? Oh, it'll just be a half bottle. No, I think my ideal amount is a half bottle and a mouthful. Is normally what I end up with. But it's number 1 because I've got 1 pickup. Oh, yeah, see, all these things. It's all cyclical. The universe knows. Oh. No, but I mean, what I'll do is by the time I get to a quarter of the way through the bottle, that's when I start taking incredibly small sips. So it does look like I'm still drinking at the same rate, but instead of taking a mouthful, I'm taking a tiny little sip to make it last longer so I don't get too drunk. In this light, it's a bit dark to see actually. I'm going to put that on top of that table. So who's been buying guitars? I've got a few I need to put up for sale. Just annoying ones. It's like clean with a humbucker. Because I have to. I have to. I did buy Mighty Mite, and the one I bought was the Motherbucker set, and it had the 22k bridge, and I put it into my Kramer Focus, which I made the scratch plate for out of aluminium because it didn't have a scratch plate, so it's kind of like a Kramer. Is it a Beretta? I think it's the same shape as a Beretta. So it's a super strat type thing, and I put this 22k Motherbucker in it, and when I was screwing it up through the metal plate that I'd made, the metal plate caught the edges of the binding and just basically slashed the windings of the pickup, so I never actually got to hear it. I do still have the neck one, but it was only 17.8, which isn't that high, so I never actually got to hear it. I don't know. I'm not sure Mighty Mite are one company. I don't know. Is it Mighty Mite a wee bit like, I think Gotoh, I don't think they are anymore, but they used to be a bit like this where they would basically make everything. So if you wanted a premium set of tuners, they made premium tuners, but they also made budget ones, or you know what I mean, they had mid-range and budget as well. So I don't know whether maybe did that, because it just, I think, or they maybe used to be a thing in the 70s. I'm pretty sure I've seen Mighty Mite pickups in like old, 60s Gibsons and stuff, and they're worth hundreds of pounds, whereas I think the ones I bought were kind of more 90s maybe, so I don't know if the name get bought over or anything like that. I wasn't that disappointed, to be honest. I got them off eBay. I ended up, I bought a set of, there was 2 sets. They were loaded pickguards on eBay. This is going back before, this is before 2012. This is using my dad's laptop when I used to be able to, sneak on things on eBay. And I used to set the alarm on my watch. And I'd be down like, can I use your computer for 10 minutes? Dad? Yeah. And then I would use it, and then bid last second. Eddie Van Halen, possibly, yeah, but I'm not sure. Again, was Mighty Mite handmade by a dude in California, but then the company went and got bought over by somebody, and then they made it like a proper factory? I don't know. Hey, Alex is at the pub again, but should be home soon to talk about. I won't be talking about you. No, actually, I saw your guitar on one of the vintage guitar. Super Awesome Cheap Guitars, or one of those sites, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't yours, unless you've got a different name, which you might do. But it was they had the same printout thing. I didn't click on it, but it looked the same. No, but I mean, I paid something like 15 quid for the loaded scratch plate, and the guy was selling 2 and he sent me the wrong one. So by the time I sent it back, and I think I can't even remember what it was, but it happened anyway. Before I was a bit more savvy with these things, I just thought, whoa, Mighty Mite Motherbucker. Motherbucker. It's like, I like that name. So it's like the big muff pedal, had to have one. Yeah, the name, not Mighty Mite, that sounds, to me, bread. Mighty White Bread, something like that. I seem to remember that being a thing when I was a kid. Hey, Mr. Whitesnake, I'll be in soon. I'm under the Venta hood. I have no idea what sort of sick and twisted thing that actually means. I'm tempted to get the wee red star out actually for clean sounds. Or just a wee bit distortion. I was having an absolute ball the other day when I first set up this thing. See, just, I don't know, I mean, obviously it's the same thing I had before, but just having a slightly different amp, that stereo thing's just cheesy, I keep overusing it. But just having, like, I've never really thought having a board or just having the two pedals I want on it, because the Tube Screamer's my new thing. Ah, under the Venta hood, got you. Well, fair enough, you can just shout. I'm actually thinking of, my pal gave me a couple of speakers earlier on. Yeah, you get an old hi-fis, you get like the speakers set A and B. I'm thinking, I might as well use it. And originally it was for hi-fis, so you could put them in the kitchen or into another room. So I'm thinking, yep, into the kitchen. But I was also thinking on the front of that hi-fi, there's a mono button, which was always useful when you had crap tapes when I was a kid. You know, tapes that had chewed up and all that. Mono sorted a lot of things. Don't know what it was actually for. But now I'm thinking, well, I could put one speaker in the kitchen and one in the bathroom and then hit the mono button, which means you could basically, you don't need stereo in the kitchen. You need all of it though. Sounds good though. Epiphone Swingsters, I'm trying fully hollow push-pull volumes, down pickups in parallel, up in series. Well, I don't know, I was talking about the Epiphone Swingster. I suppose I don't know. I mean, I never say never. I've never really. The only guitar I ever really had that was even close to any of that was that Yamaha AEX, which was really nice, but I sold it before I moved. It was too much of a case of digging it out once a year and going, oh, pure love this guitar. This is great. Playing it for a week and then digging it out in a year's time, putting strings on it and saying, oh, this is brilliant, playing it for a week, and it's like there's no point in having a guitar like that. Must get rid of some. Want to keep this one though. Hey Dave. Yeah, I'm doing my usual minty Christmas, as in bit of humbug. I don't intend on really not doing at all. Yeah, I get the Gretsch thing, I suppose. I don't know. I suppose it would come down to, again, it's like these things with guitars where all guitars are cool pretty much, you know what I mean? They're all cool, but by having a Gretsch or any even remotely Gretchy type thing, it means I get one less of one of this type of thing, which is what I like. So, got a tip to the pedal, not bragging, it's just surprising. I don't know, having brakes that clamp on instantly is not that useful. I do keep, I mean, I don't know what you weren't coming from a Panda and you're going to like a bigger car. I went from that 1.3 litre Panda to the 2.2 litre Honda, and every time it comes down to one of those bits where I have to either overtake or like, you know, pulling out, not in a dodgy way obviously, but I'm leaving enough room for the Panda to easily do it, and it's like with that car it doesn't even seem Like you're going that fast, it's kind of like, here we go. Oh, I'm doing 70. Right, amazing. Hey Andy, how's it going? So it's now getting brighter again. Only for beer runs in Germany. Sounds amazing. I suppose you're in the Euro, so you don't even need your passport and shit to get anywhere. You can just... No, you're American, you probably do need a passport. Swallowing my hair. Almost got the bulk there. Oh. Yes, I was down your way, Andy, down your Troon. Where was I? We went to Kilmarnock to pick up that wee amp. My plan was I took it down. I stuck a couple of guitars in the boot. And I thought, oh, we can totally. I'm pretty sure you can play the bass and guitar at the same time. We'll play it down on Air Beach or something. But it was basically, it was noon and it was still dark and it didn't get any lighter. So we didn't go out the car very much. It was quite cool. The guy was like, which is what I would have done. Is up here, oh no, I'm sorry, I'm working tomorrow, but I can leave it out the back in the shed and then just put the money through the letterbox. So that's what I did. So I didn't get to haggle. The guy just said it worked absolutely perfectly. And I was looking at it and it came with the power supply, so I didn't bother. Dutch on paper. Oh, that's with the tone. And I don't think the rat pedal sounds as good in the recording as it does in real life, so I might need to have a wee go with the rat pedal and adjust it. Hey, Sloaney, you're in early. Everyone's in early tonight. What's going on? It's almost like everyone's wanting to hear some sense before the Bucky starts taking over. I will do, Andy. We were just, the weather was that hackett, there was no point doing anything. I would have come down and I was with Jen, she'd be like, oh, use all your guitars for photos so that she can put them up online and people can go, no, don't paint that one, that's too good. And she'd go, it's not even mine. That tone is pure. All right, totally, I will play that. That's just the rat. I mean, I was talking to my pal about this earlier on, why rat pedal was always the one for me, and it wasn't just, it's partly just because that was the one I had, well, my pal Michael, cheers Michael, eventually sold to me after I'd basically stolen it for about 10 years. But yeah, no, maybe that's where the rat comes from, because it is that slightly fuzz, so yeah, you're in a Gadavida, that is the sort of thing I like. Oh. What, this evening in a Hawaiian ballroom? What we're doing? That with fuzz? I was down in Shire, I was down in Kilmarnock buying a Roland Cube amp, which everybody missed. Like, as I said earlier on, which was really annoying because Jen managed to get one at the car boot sale for 20 quid less than I got mine for. Yeah, I was down, where I went to Kilmarnock. What was the guy? Is it somewhere where the castle is? Is it Dundonald or Donald Castle? That's where I was. Is that a cream riff? Bits of it probably were. That's Iron Butterfly, which first time I heard it was on The Simpsons. That what was the name? What are you thinking of? Because how many times I've ever played that song. Top chat filter is off. It is. Live chat filter is on. I got it at the very start. I did it before anybody reminded me. Kelly with more scheme than Shire. Yes, it was. The thing is, it's too dark these days, Slow. I need to go down to the Shire. If I'm getting down there by lunchtime, it's dark by the time I get home, and I don't want to be hitting the Kingston Bridge when it's dark and raining and Hackett. But it's getting lighter now. Yes, that's fiction music. That's from Blackadder, isn't it? Ah, the Gorbals. Lovely couple, lots of fun. Yep. Dundalk is pretty near Troon. Yeah. Did I end up getting anything else? Did I did a charity shop run because we were down there. Has anyone done Secret Santa at work? No. My pals do a Secret Santa, but I don't know. I mean, I just buy myself something. I haven't actually bought myself anything yet. Do I count that wee rolling cube? The thing is, I kind of had it in my head, sitting there thinking like that, well, I'd probably be able to sell my other one as well. Kim Rawson thought, so you were in the Ken zone, both sides, where everyone says Ken after everything down there and up there. I only know Kinroth because it's Perth and Kinross, really, isn't it? You did a coast to coast, Sloaney. Although, to be honest, that's not as impressive as it is in America. But the Americans will be impressed by that. What? You went coast to coast? It's like, yep. How long did that take you? Well, it kind of depends, doesn't it? What time of day you do it. Without rush hours, whoa, what, 2.5 hours, 3 hours? Maybe more than that, eh? I wonder if you would you drive past here? Would you drive past Cumbernauld? Because you would come down from Perth. You would come down past Stirling, and then you'd be Stirling to get to the M73 to get... No, you wouldn't. You would go M74 to get onto the... M73 to get onto the M74 to go right, to go west into town to come down the M77. Aye. Well, usually if I can pop in here then. I'm like 11. No, it can't be. How far away were those? That blue guitar? That blue guitar was... It was 12 minutes and 13 minutes. And both of those places were in Cumbernauld, and both of them were half a mile past the motorway, which I had to drive over to get there. So I'm within 10 minutes of the motorway. So there. So next time you think, fucking in Kilmarnock, didn't want to do a 45-minute detour. Go by the turn off for Kirky. That means you were on the M80 then, or unless there's, I don't think is there a turn off for Kirky on the? I'm the one before that. Yeah, I've been Kilseath. It's definitely got a thing coming off for the motorway going north. Whether it does on the way south, I don't know. Proper Doomy, yeah. Well, it's chorusy Doomy though. It's one of those things that you wonder about how. I'll maybe try and adjust the chorus at some point. There's not much in it. It's got, as in, it's not even a whole dial for chorus. It's just got like chorus up till sort of a quarter, and then it's phaser or flanger or something. I was looking up the manual for the Street Cube because just a couple of weeks ago I know somebody watched a YouTube video. They were talking about the tuner on the bass amp, which I was always using. You know, you set the tuner and then you click the knob round and it tells you if you set it to for E, it's like, I don't know, the Fender Bassman or something like that. Then once you've tuned it, you go to the next, ampeg, whatever it is, and that gives you the D. But actually, if you hold the button in, it gives you a chromatic tuner. So I thought there might be some hidden features on it. That's when I found out that it was stereo as well. I've forgotten my point now. Do me? Yeah. So they were talking about the the things that are in that effects unit, and it was like the spiel for the chorus was phenomenal. It was like totally pure. Yes, using the spatial awareness of two independent speaker volumes, and it was like a paragraph, like a half a page long, about how amazing this actual stereo and it's how it's actual spatial, chorus, not fake digital chorus. It's acting. It was just like fucking Jesus, calm down type thing, and then it went on to phaser and it went a spinning effect, tremolo, pitch, variation and modulation of volume. And that was it for the other effects. But the first one, the jazz chorus, the chorus thing had a big fucking page. So it was quite worth it. And it was also a lot of... I didn't even read all of it, but I skimmed through it. And even I noticed some of the things we was talking about using the JC sound. It's like pure... It sounds great for a... blah, 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 and smooth, and a smooth. It's just like, and a smooth. And then the metal one was something about... You could even play slash metal on it. It's like, whoa, slash metal. Yeah. M80 turns off in all sorts of places. It wouldn't go again for good reason. Yeah, it does get a bit mental, but it's one of those ones where I suppose probably that's why Cumbernaulds there, because it's kind of the crossing of the motorways. So I've got the M80 coming in, and then the M73, and then what's the one that goes up to Stirling? Is that the M73? Yeah, there's a lot of things like within 4 miles of here, just down there where all the motorways cross and shit like that. A lot of on and off ramps. Ooh. Just grabbing through the wall of rack here. Things will calm down next year. But how good is it going to be that it's going to start getting lighter again? I wonder if you'd know his old band. I know Tiger Tails from... They're on... I remember one of the albums always being cheap. Like they must have had a single or something that they put out. And I remember that. And are they not on... I might be getting them mixed up with Spider, with a Y. I think they're on one of... I've got like a Reading festival or something like that. I think I've got one of their songs. Lived in Gutcoshry. The only place worse than the M74, M73 was Kirky. Kirky's alright if you go to the right bit of Kirky. There's worser places than Kirky. I think some of Kilseath up that hill. I think it's by complete luck that I'm in the scummy bit totally, but whenever the scummy bit have to walk down the hill, there's no shortcuts that run along this road or in this area, so they kind of come down the hill. They're not going to kind of come back up the hill a wee bit to come up here and walk through this bit, so it's nice. Love Bomb Baby, that kind of is it? Berserk. I don't know. The Tiger Tails, it's kind of like, is it the Tigers of Pentang? It's like 80s metal. I don't know. I mean, I suppose there's not really been much of a resurgence of that. And anyway, it's mad how like some things were used to be popular, and then they became not popular. And it's some like I'm looking at these 60s and 70s records, and it's like Pink Floyd, the Beatles, they'll always be selling forever. And then it's like Supertramp, they're now worth money and popular. But I mean, I remember they were charity shop shit. I mean, every Supertramp album I bought was like £5 for £1, that kind of thing, or 50 pence each. Your car was broken into in Kirky. Actually, that's because you're not from Kirky. No, well, I suppose that doesn't happen these days, Sloaney. You know, those are back in the old days. Now it's a pedestrian precinct. You can't actually get your car onto the high street, so it's more likely you would just get ticketed almost immediately and have damaged your car driving over things. Sounds like Megadeth. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I mean, it's like one of those things. I don't even know how the music I listened to was so influenced by these records, because that's them. When I was at uni, when I was at uni and didn't actually have a lecture on, I was in buying these things pretty much all from the same shop, pretty much all for, I don't know, average £2 maybe, something like that. And it was like, so I was buying things just from what they were, and I didn't. Tiger Tales, I can kind of picture the era that the album cover would have been, and at the time I wouldn't have thought that was cool, so I didn't buy it. Oh. Well, Jesus, Sloaney, I mean, it's like Paisley though. I don't know. It's like I just don't feel. I mean, I've worked there. I worked there for a bit with flats in Paisley. I know folk from there that are okay, but there's some very. Even the thing is, again, it's enough. A lot of these places in Paisley, there's some lovely bits, but that lovely bit, you walk 100 yards and you're onto a street that you're scared to be on. You know what I mean? And that's the main boulevard with the shops. It's kind of horrendous. That's because you had a fancy car though, Sloaney. Mind you, I've got a Honda now. Mind you, the Honda. People don't break into cars anymore, do they? I mean, I'm worried. I keep thinking about not leaving my fucking phone or leaving in the car, because no one's going to bother. You can't even steal the stereo. You can't even steal the car. So what's the point in smashing it up? It's a Honda, some old dude's car. You know what I mean? That's cool. It's amazing how I've not been. It must be the way I drive. When I first got that car, in the first week, I had like 3 or 4 boy racers at lights, pure revving and driving away, because I had like the fancy car's not happened since then. I don't know what happened there. Maybe I'm driving too sensibly. We started collecting CDs again. I mean, I've been looking at the CDs in charity shops. You just never know. I was looking through one. I used to. That's why I used to go to charity shops for records. And it was like just looking through, and they were all. It was the usual. Was it El Divo and Robbie Williams? Just about 20 Susan Ball albums. There's only about that many CDs, and it's like best of Budgie, fucking El Divo. The best of Budgie. The best of Budgie, and it was even individually priced at 30 pence, and it had never been opened. It was like that. The best of Budgie. So I put that on it. That's now in the car. I wasn't really that impressed with it though. It wasn't a very good compilation. It missed some of my favourite ones. I don't know what ones were hits. I just had the albums. They came out at the wrong time, just before grunge. Yeah, totally. Records tape. I can't have thrown away. I think I've got a big box of tapes. The thing is, I've got the coolest tape decks on the planet. Like, I remember I bought a tape deck new in Richardson's in Iowa, 3-head bastard, and it was great. So I've got like a good one. I've also got one that came with a record player I've got there. It's the coolest tape deck you've ever seen. It's like a drawer that comes out, like a CD drawer, and it's got VU meters, and all the knobs are concentric, so you've got like left on the inner dial and right on the other. This thing looks fucking amazing. Just about 5 different types of VU meters. It's fucking amazing. That one, and I've also got my dad's old one, which went with my hi-fi that's there, which is the one from Thunderball. It's like the one from Thunderball has a bit of metal on it that says digital voice synthesizer, but it's the same fucking tape deck. Just needs belts. So I need to do something with tapes. Oh. Just paid £82 for the 2-pack All Eyes on Me double disc. I don't even know what that is. 1985 Escort Cabriolet, and it was around 2000. The twats broke into it. Oh dear, man, that's awful. Bread fan. Our bread fans. That's the one. Did even put? I don't. A lot of people complain that they don't put CD players in cars anymore. As the tape player, they'd have the Liberator, yeah. But the thing is, I don't know if I've not how much I've gone on about this, but this CD player that my car still has, it's the make of this is premium sound system is what it says at the top, like that. Whatever that means. But when you put a CD in, it automatically records it onto its own hard drive, and it takes about 3 minutes longer than it does to get from McDonald's to Oak Drive in Lindsay, because I was up to see my pal and I forgot I was going to give him my AC/DC Ballbreaker CD, and I thought I might as well listen to it, and I put it on at McDonald's when I left, and then I got up there. So it maybe takes 5 minutes, 6 minutes to record the whole CD on, and then basically I can just go into the hard drive and every CD I've played in the last order's there. How good's that? And why don't cars have that shit? And you can buy shit at car boot sales and charity shops, and it's CDs 5 for £1 and all that. My van is the first vehicle I've owned that didn't have a tape player. My Land Rover had a cassette in it, but that was the one that I'd taken with me, because obviously Land Rovers aren't. I had to put the speakers in myself, and I literally just made bits of wood with a hole for the whatever the speakers I got off. I don't even where I got the speakers, and I just fucking bolted them into the inside of the car. Yeah, I'd never had a stereo before that. Connected onto the battery. Another Roadster, was it Blade? I've only got a couple of Roadsters. Look at it though, Jeff. You know, was it Bay City Rollers gig in Dundee? Noticed that Woody plays a Roadster with a custom yellow tartan body. Well done. Yes, I didn't know that. It's obviously not getting done. But just not having a CD player, I mean, come on. I just find it... I'm sorry, but I don't like the idea of having on my phone where Spotify just gives me playlists. I don't want that. I want to know what it is and have a wee bit of thought about it. I'm not really that... I want it to be a bit more of an event, whatever that is. Matthew North. It was the best tape deck ever. I don't know, but the thing is, what would I use a tape deck for? I was trying to think of some reason to use my dad's the James Bond one, because it's got fucking 2 big massive faders on it, and left and right VU meters and push buttons. And I remember being a kid, there was 2 things I used to do with this stereo, because it was the record player. Unfortunately, I broke or lost, or it didn't work, or it's gone. But it was a record player, a tape deck, and it's a tuner amp. And the tape deck, if you press the eject button once, it flipped the top up. And if you press the button again, it pinged the tape out. And if you hit it really hard, you could actually get the tape to flip over in mid-air and go back in again. And I remember sitting, surprising the thing's not broken. Thing I used to do with the radio as well, there's like a tuner wheel. So a big, the front lights up blue, and it's got like a red thing on a pulley. I now know it's not a pulley, but there's a big wheel on the end. And I used to, when I was a kid, go, woo, and try and spin it once and see if I could get it go from one side all the way over to the other. And it survived that 30 years ago, still going. Hey Joey, it's like, hey man, it's cool. You know what I mean? Sitting here with a lava lamp, the fender lamp on. Chill, you know? You do have any great poop on? I don't know, as you'd be able to have a CD player. Well, there you go. Good. The last brand new car my dad bought, and it came with a tape player and not a CD player. It also has a Disco Hit 77 jammed in it. It's like, what else would you need apart from Disco Hit 77? That's your year. Yeah, but I mean, I think it comes down to, remember the era of the multi-disc CD player? No. that was never a cool thing. Well, it was cool, but my first CD player I ever had in my car, my K-Reg Ford Orion, I got an Opel Manta, and it had its own head unit, which I just took out the ashtray and held it in with bits of white pine. So I had like a head unit that ran this multi-disc CD player in the boot, and on this head unit there was a headphone socket. So I had one of those headphone sockets with a tape on the end. Fucking stuck it in. That's how I had the first CD player. But the 6-disc thing, where it's like, you've got to choose the 6 discs that you want to use, but it's so much easier just to fucking have it in the front glove box. Can I put another CD on? Aye. Not. Can I put another CD on? No. Oh. Volkswagen. Oh, not Volkswagen Polo. That's what Jen drives as well. Hers is... Jen quite impressively got a Jobby Brown one. It's kind of sort of gold metallic Jobby Brown. That's fine. I don't think it won't be as old as 2003. In fact, it's probably 2013. I had a Polo Pass. Now, the best one is Wayne's daughter, who gifted me this lava lamp, which we're bathing in the light of just now, or I am. She got a Volkswagen van. I can't remember. It wasn't her. It was her dad sent me pictures. And it was like a 1.2 naturally aspirated diesel van. It was like coming out. Is it 56 horsepower? And basically, I can't even remember what kind of van it is. It's not one of the ones you see. It's like, I think it's pre-Berlingo. Volkswagen Caddy van or something like that. This thing's cool as fuck. And you're sitting there, it's got a diesel, and it's only done like 80,000 miles, and she paid like something like 300 quid for it. You're just like, yeah, that's fucking great, because you can just absolutely... I used to have a Berlingo, and it was a 1.4 non-turbo diesel, and basically I drove that as fast as that went. And that was just the way I did it. It was like, because it was underpowered, I even towed my fucking boat up the Rest of Me Thankful with 3 years in the van in it. We're all like that, trying to get it up the Rest of Me Thankful in second gear. But the thing was, it was great for fuel economy, because, okay, you could drive it, but basically, how fast am I going to drive this? As fast as it goes. Pedal on the deck, just go for it all the time. It was great. I used to do that with a Panda as well. Hey, Joachim! Gotland, here's still innocent at old 80 speed, and bought my new positive Grids Mini and a Harley Benton Strat. You should be taking your Roadster. It's Roadster time. You should be buying a rolling cube as well. But there you go, Joachim. It's getting lighter. It'll be lighter tomorrow than it was today. A Pioneer CD player under the seat of my 83 Escort Cabrio. Also a PS2 mounted the dash because it was a show car, and that rocked back in the day. I remember the idea of having it. Heck, I remember having 8-track. 8-track I completely missed out on. I remember being offered an 8-track player when I was, I would say 12 or 13, one of the other chalets. And there was an old woman who just bought the chalet. Yeah, there was an 8-track player with a box of 8 tracks like this. And I didn't know what an 8-track was. So I looked at it and it was like, it looked like a cool hi-fi, but it didn't take tapes or records. So what the fuck is that? And they just threw it out. It wasn't until years ago I remembered that. It's one of those mad memories, and I didn't take it. And one of the ones I remember, it definitely had Hotel California, because I remember seeing the cover and going, can I recognise that? But I've never had an 8-track. I don't know if they were ever very big over here. If you buy a car with Pink Floyd CD stuck in it, it'll run for years, and a house music CD, the engine will be fucked. Well, there you go. Do they still make the Polo? I don't know. It's hard to tell with any of these things, because, I mean, was it not my pal Peg was saying that all Vauxhall cars are now, all cars are now 1 litre petrol, and they're all turbo? Because I was like, Pierre, hey, fucking cars are turbo, and is that they're not turbo? It's a 1 litre turbo. You're like, all right. I think there's my van is a 1.3 turbo. Burns bugger up and gets not to 60 eventually. Well, there you go. I love my wee Berlingo van. You just drive it as fast as it goes. That's it. I don't feel... I mean, okay, it is nice having the luxury, and it's like... It does drive awful nicely. I mean, the Panda was fine at 50. Perfectly fine at 50. It's just when you went to 60, it was a bit... I mean, you felt it when you were doing 70. It was just noisy. It did it, no problem. But it was just noisy in that, whereas that one, it's not really. It's kind of fine. You're sitting there like that, pure. Stealing feels a wee bit light. Oh God, I'm doing 60 or 70. Like, all right. Oh. I remember 8-track. I just don't. I mean, it wasn't a biggie here. I think most people just skipped it out. It was kind of like, I don't know if it was bigger than mini disc was. Oh. Light and Sun today and like a Pi record player skip worse than a good CD player. Wow. I remember the CD player. I remember the common thing was, this is going back when I started uni and everyone else started uni, you would get a grant, and your first rent grant thing, you would buy a CD player. And then, or some sort of hi-fi. I remember my pal Robert, his sister Sharon, had a thing was about this height. Was it a big Kenwood or something like that? Basically got a grant of £1,100, spent £800 on a stereo, and it was fucking huge. And it was like, you know, it was like a record player, then a graphic equalizer unit, then a big digital radio, then 2 tape decks, then a multiplayer CD player. And it literally was waist height. It didn't go on a table. It sat on the floor. It was that big. I mean, I think, and then you would get people who would buy and it was like £100 for like a Discman thing. You got like an arm that would hold it, that would plug into the cigarette lighter socket, and then you would get that head unit thing. That's why when I got mine, it was like the wee guy. It was an old Opel Manta. He couldn't get it to work. He gave it to me. I said I'd give him 30 quid for it if I got it to work. I got it to work. He never came back to work again, and then I saw him about 3 years later, and I gave him the fucking money because I'd been driving about for 3 years, but like the only person with a fucking multi-play CD player in my. It was amazing. The Panda was it? I think. I mean, I just think the Panda with a better engine in it. I just think they should just. But I don't really see why you would need more. It wasn't squished up. I just remember my wee brother had one. The first one I ended up with after it, and I just thought that's fucking ridiculous and so stupid and gay. I can't possibly ever get in that. And he gave me a lift once. I was sitting in the back, and it was like, it was all right. It's totally, you're not sitting pure like that. But the two adults in the back, it's just the same as any other car. So you can get 3 in. It's a bit of a squish, but fuck, that was an amazing car. They just have made it. Goodman's in-car CD player kit, yeah. The thing that got me with the CDs is I wanted to be in on this CD thing, so I did buy a CD player. I got it second hand for 20 quid. I bet you it'd be an expensive one now. It was so old, it had the index. Remember you used to get index on the front of CD players? Yeah, that's showing how old you are. Is one of the things CDs could do is that you could have like track 1, but had 3 parts to it. I had big buttons for that before they realised they didn't need to do that. It was a Philips one. And then I bought Deep Purple, the anthology, the Easy Rider CD, and something else. And then the following week we were up having a fire, drinking Bucky around a bit of campfire up the Lindsay Moss. And my pal Mo was like, I went to this place called the Record Exchange, and it was 8 records for a £5. And I was like, you're all right, what kind of records? He was like, I got the Beatles' Help. And what? And then basically the following week I went into that record shop, and I just never bought CDs again, really, because you could buy records. It was like 8 for a £5, for fuck's sake. The CDs were, I think Pink Floyd albums were like 17 quid, something like that, for like a single. And if you got budget ones, remember the one, the Jimi Hendrix one with Jim Morrison drunk on it, that one, and you could get that, but that was like $6.99 or something. You would get it in Asda. Crap CDs, fucking expensive they used to be. We'll be able to use my PS4 as a CD player. I think everything plays CDs, doesn't it? I think it's just that whole, I don't know. I mean, the internet's fantastic. I mean, I did have a week up here I did have the internet, as in I did have my phone signal, so I could look up YouTube and stuff if I really wanted to. But I was stuck in here, and I was stuck in here for, was it a week? No, it was a few days, and all I had was the record player, the receiver amp, and 2 speakers, and the box of 45s. So for a couple of days, all I didn't have a telly or anything, so all I had was 45s. and it was fucking great. And then I got the telly, then I've got a DVD plugged in. So this is before I got the internet in, so I actually had to watch some DVDs and set it up, and it was kind of enjoyable. It was an experience watching a DVD to the point of going, I'm watching a DVD. You know, a few times during it, you're watching it going, yeah, because it's got the proper fucking DTS surround sound in here and all that, and you're like, and it's been having to pause it with a remote control. My remote control is used for turning on the TV when I turn on the TV, and then when the bit when it comes up says we're going into power saving mode, pressing OK. That's it, and then turning it off at night. I don't need none of the controls. It's just fucking plugged into the computer. Don't have a van, but if I did, it would definitely have a tarp. You can get a tarp in the back of that BMW. See where the spare wheel is? You know what I mean? Drinking wine from a local made glass with text in League of Satan, an image of a sheep. I thought, I really feel like I'm a rural. I like it, yeah. Is that, what's it? Am I going to be able to play Venom all the tone off? In the name of Satan, waiting for it to be done. I would be yeah. Oh. CD changer I got for 99p eBay over 20 years ago, but there you go. Is that a CD changer for the house or the car? There you go. It goes heads up, yeah, you can. Oh. No, I'm finding. I looked up how to change the light bulbs in my dad's old Pioneer Hi-Fi, which I'm just keeping. I think I've got a better one. I think I've got a higher number. In fact, I've actually got a couple of Pioneers that are both much higher numbers than that one. But that one's got a cool blue light on the front, and that's the one that I remember as a kid, my whole life basically. And then eventually I stole it from my Atari ST so I could run Thingy, and so it's got sentimental value. I've got like a Denon one that I got at the dump, and the Pioneer one that goes with that record player with that fucking amazing tape deck I was talking about, and I've also got a smaller 1980 Pioneer one. But it's fun. See, having proper stereo, it's unbelievable. It's so different. It's like I'm so used to even watching shit on YouTube, you know, and then I've got it coming through that amazing stereo. You know what I mean? And the difference between that and actually putting a record on, or even putting the radio on, or putting a CD on, is just like, whoa! It's like you've just been living with pillows on top of your ears. You know what I mean? Nothing on YouTube can do it. I'm saying that the guitar actually sounds quite good. My chorus thing. Oh. Daughter, I'm 90s Panasonic Ghetto Blaster. I had a mod of 50 watt, puts modern crap to shame, £20 well spent. Well, there you go. I think the thing with these things, anything with tape decks in it, you need to buy elastic bands for the inside, but just do that. I don't know, it's like they're getting into hi-fi. I don't really need to get into it, but it's lovely just looking at it. You know, just think about it logically, and you're thinking, going, oh, I've got my Bluetooth speaker. It sounds great. It's that size, right? These hi-fi things, the price of them new was ridiculous in old money. You know, I've probably got, in fact, it's okay, record player, 2 speakers, amp from, I don't know, 78 to 1980, that kind of thing. Probably £1,000 worth in 1980s money. So multiply that by three grand's worth of hi-fi sitting there, and you can pick up that for £100 or something like that. But compared to your Bluetooth speaker, which was £199, and it's fucking, what's it receiving? It's got digital MP3 files that it's playing through. 2 wee fucking speakers that size from your phone, or it's big fucking 3-way speakers with bits and things that move and all that, and valves and lights and power and transformers and all that shit. So yeah, get yourself some hi-fi. Sacrifice will hardly be into the cone shops, that's good. modern hi-fi stuff. The thing is, you're not comparing like for like. Slowly, I'm watching these guys talking about, back in the day, I think that amp was like 300 quid or something like that, you know what I mean? So times it's £1,000 amp. If you look at £1,000 amp just now, I bet you it's comparable and pretty good. But if you're looking at one that's only £100, it's going to be pish, you know what I mean? I mean, I was genuinely super surprised when I took that to bits. See, the cover, it's actually wood. I just assumed it was the same as, like, the Atari 2600, where it's like chipboard with a plastic wood look veneer on it. Nope, it's wood. For fuck's sake. And it's like, see, when I put the fretboard linseed oil on it, it fucking came up like an absolute dream. It looks like £1,000. You know what I mean? I'm really liking it. I have got a tower of hi-fi through behind the door. It's maybe that height, although it does have some rack mount stuff in it, so it's maybe that height of just tape decks, amps, and shit like that. I threw away ones that I shouldn't have. I had an Akai one that had a black and white CRT television in it, and the reason I just took it to the skip was because I got another one in the charity shop for a tenner, so I just threw it because the volume control was a bit crackly. This is before I knew what switch cleaner was, you know what I mean? Oh. But honestly, if you are falling out of the way of actually listening to records, I used to do it all the time. I mean, I remember when I was like, up until I really started using YouTube, my telly was not on. I used to watch TV. If there was something on, I would watch Red Dwarf that's on at 9 o'clock or something. But my TV didn't sit on. When you were around at my house with my pals, we would be listening to records and playing guitars and listening to tapes and CDs. The telly wasn't turned on unless there was something on. You know what I mean? New hi-fi. Play some Vital Remains here. I don't know what Vital Remains are. Remember the big brag you could have as Wharfdale speakers? See, the thing is, I think by the time I knew what Wharfdale was, Wharfdale had been, the actual company had closed up doors, and the Wharfdale that I remember being new was utter shite plastic nonsense with the old badge on it. But I do know that back in the day, Wharfdale, but I mean, people would, in the 70s, people would spend £1,000 on a pair of speakers. £1,000 in 70s money, it was mental. Just looking at it. And now, people are going, complaining about it. Even the last few sets. I mean, the hi-fi difference, everyone's just like become not repairable anymore. I even noticed it with that wee rolling cube my pal broke, and the difference between the rolling cube of a couple of years ago and the one from 15 years ago, it's just like everything has been every year they've gone, we can make this bit cheaper, and you end up with a plastic piece of shit. Still sounded all right, but just it was the same as modern hi-fi. I'm sure it sounds fine, but it doesn't have, like, nobody soldered it, nobody bolted it together. These things are built by hand. Well, they are, because you couldn't. It was a Garrard record player that my dad had that I broke and then put it in a skip. The cover was cracked, but the record player was probably all right. But it was a Garrard something. A 401 sounded maybe right. This Garrard came with a unit, and you could it told you how to cut it. It gave you like a template if you were going to cut it into one of these music centres that was made of solid oak. You know what I mean? You could recess shit into this. That was a thing. But a dozen Wharfdale speakers and a skip, but upgraded to pub to JBL. Well, well, there you go. I don't even know leak in a pair of Lowther speakers. Oh. I saw the pub. Oh. What are they, wee Yamaha speakers with the white cones? Yeah, that was the ultimate. As soon as whoever it was at Yamaha decided, these speakers are fantastic, that's great. Hold on, let's get our marketing guy in. What do you think? Oh yeah, technically everything's fine, but paint the cones white. Why? It doesn't make any difference. That'll add £20 to build them. Paint the cones white. I know what they are. They're the only speakers I know what they are because they're fucking white. So that was a really good idea, but yeah. Yeah, but I mean, that's the reference speakers. I don't think... See, I've got like a reference amp up my ADAT setup, and I was using a couple of mini monitors, which are meant to be neutral sounding. They're sort of 90s hi-fi. I've actually got a 5.1 setup of mini monitors with a 300 watt sub in my other rig that I can switch. But mostly I listen to the big Celestians. The point of the hi-fi in 1977, I think that's that. Dad said he bought it before I was born, so 1977. It wasn't a case of, I want this to sound, there is a correct way for it to sound, like there is now. You know, it's like you get your reference monitors. I want to listen to this. I want this to sound the same as it does to the person who was sitting in the mixing desk mixing it. That's not what this does. This has got its own sound. So you put something on this hi-fi and it's got tons of fucking bass, and it's got its own EQ curve that just does. It's like, we can, because back then, like a Beatles record was designed to be, you had to be able to play it on a wee shitty Dansette record player, yeah? So it couldn't have tons of bass and all that shit because the Dansette record player would skip. So it had to be able for everyone to use it. And the same thing for it had to sound good on AM radio. So it had to be pumped up and all that shit. So this record player, or this amp and speakers more than the record player, takes that thing that they had to make it shit for Dansette and makes it bigger. Is what I think. Got a BSR deck for those who carried Yamaha's NS10 white cones sound awful but great for checking mix translation. Well, there's white cones for studio monitors. What's the difference between speaks and studio monitors? My mate's dad used to make us amps from jukebox speakers. One cut down, best amps ever used, amazing. Speakers or studio monitors? Well, it's not. I suppose it's not a true representation of music, and maybe there probably is an element of, if you're listening to my 1978 amp and speakers, which it is or whatever, that kind of era. You're talking about it, it's going to be for the disco records. And the disco records are going to be for AM radio, so it's going to make the disco records sound with tons of full bass and shit like that. If you put on something modern, like I listened to the Daft Punk Random Access Memories, yes, I know it's 10 years old now, for fuck's sake. But yes, that kind of thing, it's super bassy. Really clear, though. It's amazing fun. And it's a hobby that you don't need to spend very much money on. It's more of the time thing. And it's like the difference between watching telly or, you know, like sit and listen to your wee fucking Bluetooth or listen to music on your phone and having basically any separate amp, any speakers that are bigger than about that, having one there, having the amp in the middle and having any record player, any CD player, it'll knock your pants off. Just because it's like, fucking hell. I remember music used to sound like that when I was a kid. Yeah, it's because we're now listening to compressed shite through wee fucking shitty speakers that are all fake. Oh. Amstrad separates. Oh my god, they were fucking awful. White cones, black piano cones, gave them away. Yeah, exactly. No, studio, I mean, that's it. If you're recording it, it's telling you the truth of what's going on, but why do you want the truth? Why not have too much bass? Whoa. But no, the Amstrad separates, I remember that era as well, and you would get... It looked like it had graphic equalizers and all that shit, which is kind of what you wanted. I don't know. A Dansette Barracuda. I don't know what a Dansette Barracuda is, but it's a great name. A music lover kind of needs good speakers, but I went without it for years. I mean, when I moved to Nottingham, what was that, 7 years ago, I didn't last very long just using the telly thing. We sort of had a moderate hi-fi. I think I might have even had the big speakers and a wee Pioneer hi-fi and the two speakers plugged out the telly. That was my rig, because I now literally cannot hear a TV that doesn't have big speakers. It's just, it's like honestly, if I come round to your house and you're sitting watching TV, and even with a soundbar, You know what I mean? If it's the speakers on the telly, it's just fucking, I can't, it's fuck off. Just turn it off. I'd rather not have anything. Always got the hi-fi accessories, spent thousands on gear and had about 6 albums, including the one for setting up. Yes, I know, Andy, I get it. That's the person who's got a 10 grand Les Paul, all the pedals, the proper valve amp, and they can only play 3 songs. Totally get it. Yes. And that's it. You know what I mean? They only listen to 1 or 2 records. I don't. I just like a good one. You spot the Daft Punk one, the Random Access Memories one. That's fucking great. Leonard Skinner Free Binge, 12-inch full version. Oh, I mean just the actual song rather than the cut. I've not heard. The last band I was in were arsing about playing songs and I never put enough effort into learning songs. Fucking failed to bits. This is just last year. This year. And I would try to play Freebird, and it was like I've never been cringe, but I was like pure. Oh, this is pure cringe. Fuck it. I don't know. It was a new thing because I used to love Freebird. I pumped my music out my Focal Studio monitors. See, Ben, I'm not sure Focal Studio monitors. Just listen to them. I wonder what you would think of big fucking heavy bastards that you can't post. You know the type I mean, where it's like handmade and it's like, you know, yes, you can get a speaker that's this size that sounds better than a speaker this size, right? But the speaker this size that sounds better than the speaker this size costs 100 times as much. So yes, I've got a Bang & Olufsen speaker. It's this size and it sounds better than your big speaker. It's like, yes, it does, but you just paid £1,000 for it. I got it for £50 or I found it in a skip. And it's 90% as good. You know what I mean? Oh. What's a Pioneer stack with a matching glass cabinet? Purely because that was a dog's box back in the day. Yeah, I mean, I've looked up mine's a lowly 434, SX 434, but see, looking at all of them, I'm going to say I've got the prettiest one. The flagship one is twice the height. And it's got big fucking levers. It's got like 3 tape loops, 3 set speakers, A, B, and C, and all that. And you're like, fuck, it's mental. And VU meters. Mine doesn't have VU meters. But it's right at that era. I always thought this, where it's totally timeless. It still looks modern. It doesn't look like it just looks like if it was now, you just go, that's fucking thousands of pounds. Amazing. Oh, 5.1 I used to sell them for TVs in the first Top Gun movie to demo. There you go, Joey. I've actually got a 5.1 set up. We've got a Super Audio CD player, DVD audio, Pioneer thing. I've got a Yamaha Natural Sound 5.1 fucking encoder, but it's got the coders on the back of the DVD player, and then Gale mini. I can't even remember who makes the mini monitors. JPW mini monitors. Aye, 5 of them, and a Yamaha subwoofer. But I quite like my dad's old Pioneer. It's just it kind of, as soon as you turn it on, it reminds me of being a kid because it still sounds the same as it did back then. In fact, some of the records I listen to are still the same ones. Need a replacement for displacement. Always room for improvement when it comes to sound quality. I'm female. I want a big speaker, not a small one, which wants to sound like a big one. Yes. Size does matter. But even then, it's like, it's also really nice. I mean, when I was back in Lindsay, my hi-fi was fucking this high. You know what I mean? I had my record player didn't play 45, so I had another record player and another amp, and I had the 5.1 system, which the guy in Hi-Fi Corner and I can't remember, was it Dixon's I was trying to get, because I bought this DVD player and it had the fucking phono outputs for 5.1. So that's on the back of the DVD player. It was only 20 quid or something. It was like a Guthrie's one that the volume knob had fallen off it. I was like, can I run that into one amp with 2 speakers and then another amp with 2 speakers and then another amp with a speaker for the front? So basically, I'd fuck everyone, I'm going to do it. So I did it. I had that Pioneer was running the centre speaker. I had my main amp, which at the time was another Pioneer, left and right front speakers, left and right back through another amp as well. So I'm currently running 3 amps, and then the subwoofer I had into a 400 watt Marshall bass amp, and it fucking kicked ass beyond anything. Oh. Technology doesn't improve, no, it doesn't impress, no, but it just makes it feel... The thing is, see the hi-fi in here, I've got a big stereo, and I think I've got better speakers. I've got Mordaunt short speakers, but these ones, they've got a certain whoa to them. You know, it's like every time I turn it on, not noticing it when watching YouTube or watching the telly, but as soon as you put a record on it, it's like pure, oh. It's like a different, there's another dimension of sound that just isn't there in everyday life, but the hi-fi's got it. It just goes, when you're up here, here we go. Hey Kevin, happy holidays. Size does matter, but there needs to be some decent grunt behind it too. I don't know. I'm not even sure. I was pretty sure that all the amps I had, like that one, was like 120 watts and all that shit, but I don't think it is. I think it's only 20. Do you have a subwoofer? I do. Well, I've got... So my current setup is, I've got my dad's old Pioneer SX434. Yes, 1978 stereo system. That it's getting a headphone socket out from the TV, which is taking the computer. It's got an input from the CD player, and it's got an input from the record player. The tape output of that amp goes into the Yamaha, so I can, anything that's playing through that amp, I can run into the Yamaha, and it's got like Dolby Pro Logic 2 and all that shit, all the different effects, the fake surround sound, and it does all that with the subwoofer, or it could just add it to the subwoofer. There's all fucking different options. Also, that's got this SACD player plugged into it, but it's proper 5.1, so it's 5 distinct channels running it, so you can set that. But yeah, it's good fun. But it's the thing is, just having fun with it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and it's not a case of spending lots of money. You know what I mean? You're talking 100 euros or $100 or £100. You could get a decent amp and speakers that'll blow fucking any computer or any fucking soundbar or any of that crap away. You know what I mean? And you maybe have to buy... You wouldn't have much choice in it, but you could fucking get them. And it's, I remember talking to an old drunk security guard. He was talking about the speakers of the things you're listening to. So you're better off with a shit amp, shit fucking tape deck, and a shit record player, and amazing speakers is better than having an amazing amp and an amazing record player, an amazing tape deck, and shit speakers. And it's like, well, I can understand that. That's the bit you hear. Girth mask. Love the video of the fuzz bass. Oh. Well, thankful for that. I just put the bottle of bucket down and turned the TV off. Yeah, so I put the TV remote control over there. It's too dark in here. I can't see fuck all. Oh. Video of the fuzz bass. Oh, the fuzz bass is amazing fun. Had it in the studio. It's so much better having the fuzz in the bass. This fuzz bass. But I was saying that the grand total of this bass is, I think it's 38 quid or something like that. Okay, fair enough. I did manage to find a bass that had a fuck neck for 20 quid and fix it. So even if you spent 50 quid on the bass, you're still talking about 7, you know, it's like 8 quid or something, and about 15 quid's worth of shit stuck in it and another pot. And it's stereo. Aye, amazing fun. I cannot understand. Anyone who doesn't want fuzz in a bass doesn't know you can do that. Do you know what I mean? Why did John Entwistle not have fuzz in his bass? Because he didn't know you could do that. Same as everybody. They didn't know you could do that. Alright? You can put a fuzz pedal on it. You can. And there's not really any reason why I couldn't have put a fuzz pedal in a bass in 1968. You know what I mean? Nothing new. Same with all the wiring I do. None of it. Very, very little of it's considered as shit that you couldn't have done in the 60s. Decent gear can be picked up for washers if you know what you're looking for. It is, but yeah, it's the thing is that if you look up the best of the Pioneer SX things, the top of the range one, you know what I mean, is, you're not going to get one of them for less than a couple of £1,000 type thing. You look at the fucking thing. But if you look at something like that, which there's a couple on eBay just now for like £100 and shit like that, it's still fucking amazing compared to your fucking MP3 Walkman. It's amazing. The company that made the packaging for Lynn, yeah. See that I've never even seen Lynn. I do know that they were the best in the world and they were made in Glasgow, or something like that. But yes, they were mental. I'm sure I was working with someone who's like, when they closed down, they ended up with a van full of the speakers. You know what I mean? And the speakers were like £1,000 for one, and that was like not in the enclosure. That was just the fucking, a cardboard box with the actual speaker in it. That was when they get paid off, and I have no idea when that was, or whether it was telling the truth, but it made sense, and it was literally, you're talking about £1,000 for just the component speaker. This is when they were buying them in. Mental. You buy vintage Lynn stuff for pennies if it's needing work. That's the thing, if you're talking about buying it for pennies, though, why not just go in and have a stab at it and see if you can fix it? I don't think I'm not at the pure audiophile stage, though. I'm just sitting there thinking it's such a bigger jump from, I've got a TV with a soundbar, I listen to my Bluetooth speaker, to where I am just now. That's a bigger jump than where I am just now to someone who spent $100,000 on a stereo. Do you know what I mean? Or say you spent $10,000 in all-round Bang & Olufsen system. Miles better than what I've got here, but I'm closer to the sound of that than your TV watching it on your soundbar. Gear sales out of cotton, get canned foods in a tarp, yeah. 25 years ago, $9,000, but really was it? But I mean, at what point, I mean, the thing is as well, I've got 2,000 records sitting there. Very few of them don't have any crackles in them. Very few of them I would even describe as in good condition, you know what I mean? But you can still listen to them. I used to make Fonz turntables in the Shire. Top record decks are 300,000. But does that include like a Philippine maid to hand wind it, who's been trained to wind it at 33 and a third? You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. Good hi-fi gear is the same jump going from a Squire to vintage Washburn. Sort of, aye, but I'm talking that. That's you talking about the Squire. There is not some shitty thing you bought for £20. It's like a relatively modern, expensive hi-fi sound system, Bluetooth, Alexa. You know what I mean? It's Alexa you're talking about with a couple of £100 subwoofery thing in every room compared to blowing. I mean, I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to get it. The thing is, you're going to be able to buy shit off some enthusiast. I'm not the enthusiast. I do have a pile of hi-fi stuff, but I don't buy hi-fi stuff. It's just cool. But I've got rooms full of guitars. Fuck it, I don't need hi-fi to go. But people have it, and if you're talking about buying off them, okay. Again, your best buy is you might be able to pick up my setup for £50. Someone doesn't know what they're talking about, and it's like their parents have, whoever someone's died or something, it's just there, it's going in the bin. Nah, but set it up, work it. But if you're buying it from someone who's an enthusiast, the same as if you buy a guitar from me, if you buy from somebody who's knows about all these pioneer things, you can probably buy an amp like mine and those speakers for 150, 200 quid, and everything will have been checked. So there won't be anything wrong with it. It won't need fixed, and it'll last for another 40 years. You know what I mean? So it's maybe worthwhile just doing that. Just go and blow fucking 200 quid. It's like £200 for... And get fucking massive speakers. Don't get fucking wee shitty ones. Get ones that are so big you go, whoa, those speakers are massive. Yes! Oh. Hi-Fi, Richer Sounds, Scooter Muppet. I was a Richer Sounds fanboy at one point. That's where I got my Pioneer Super Audio thing. That's where I got my tape deck. But I never bought. Yeah, I didn't buy that much. I kind of like the look of the old silver shit. Oh. Reach out, Norman Greenbaum, Spirit in the Sky, is still alive and kicking. I would appreciate that fuzz bass he did with his guitar back in the 60s. Well, there you go. Yes, I didn't know. I'd never heard that song. I was aware it existed, but I didn't realise I played it all the time. That I always thought that was a ZZ Top riff. There you go. The deck isn't expensive, but I do know that, Mister. Did I get it in a skip? I did. A Bang & Olufsen record player. The thing was that thick. Linear tracking. Fucking amazing. Look, the coolest look at it. It looked like $5,000's worth. And I looked up on eBay, and the only needle I could find was second hand, and it was £180. And it's like, I wasn't 100% sure the rest of it worked, so it was £180 to put into this thing, which might work. The needle was still on it, but it was snapped. But I'm listening to records that are fucking, you know what I mean, all scratched. This is your Radio Strack Minimus 7-shelf books. Little Boss Direct reflection speakers. Not everything works. So I was listening to, I was talking about this earlier when I gave it to my pal, AC/DC Ball Breaker, which might be my favourite AC/DC album. Because I like all the songs on it. And I've got the record for that, which was a reissue. I don't think it ever came out in record, and I bought it. It was one of the first things I listened to in here, and it was like, doesn't sound as good as the CD. And that's just because Ball Breaker was made in 98? Something like that, 1996, 97, 98. And records weren't a thing, so you just made them on CD, so it's for CD. So when you put it on record, it sounds pish. So there's not a case of CDs being wrong, it's just that the music I like, my favourite music, was designed to be played on record. That's how it was mixed. When they were making it, they figured someone would have a hi-fi like this. Looking amazing. A set of in-ear monitors from Mr. Bero's shop, £22. Again, I think, but there's maybe a thing. I was talking to my pal earlier on about why I don't really like the Positive Grid Spark, and it's just, for me, I know that you don't have to agree with this, but there's something completely not fucking rock and roll about going into your phone and choosing a Marshall amp and adjusting the reverb. That's not, no. On principle, no, I don't like that. I can't remember what my point was there, but yeah, so that's the principle's already there, you're gone. It's a wee bit the same with in-ear monitors. Maybe they do sound good, I don't know, it's not as bad as the idea of using an app. Well, good point, what is everyone listening to a stream through? I'm listening to it through an old hi-fi, so that's what I'm kind of aiming for. I thought I was into hi-fi. There was a specialist store that sold stuff I had never heard of, mind-blowing prices, just a set of cables set to cost $500. Yes, I believe you, Jeff. Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing I was saying about being into hi-fi. It's like the difference between being into guitars and you having like a £300, £400, £500 Japanese guitar and having a 20 grand PRS custom shop isn't that big a difference. Do you know what I mean? Whereas the difference between not having a fucking Harley Benton and having a £500 Japanese guitar is fucking huge. It's the same with hi-fi. If you don't have a hi-fi, you know, you can obviously, to get another 1%, you have to spend twice as much. Listen to some JVC headphones running through my laptop. Oh, it's all you've really got. You're getting some good chorus then. AC/DC Bonfire collection. Your Yamaha THR-10. Yes, I bet you it does this thing. I don't have. I didn't realise they were battery powered. They're quite good. The wee Yamaha. I don't know. It's like, I don't like having lots of options, and the thing is, like with the cubes, it does have the amp simulator option thing, but they all sound shit apart from Jazz Chorus, so that means there's no option. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if it actually had good Marshall stack and thingy, I don't know. Hey Kevin, bigger magnets, bigger cone, bigger sound can be a cool concept. The guy from the movie Spinal Tap, except the volume control from Marco speakers go to 27 at 30 it's distortion. Yeah, I don't know. I like big speakers. I like tall speakers. I like small speakers. As long as they're loudspeakers. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not rich, but I saved a couple of €100 for quality speakers. Again, I don't think you need to have a couple of £100 for speakers. What you need to do is have I can be bothered looking up Facebook Marketplace, and I can be bothered driving to go and pick the bastards up. Because something like those the Celestion Deton 33s I've got, they're fucking huge. Nobody's selling them. Nobody wants them. You're picking them up for 50 quid if you can get them in your town, sort of thing, or lots of equivalents like that. You know what I mean? You're talking about, and this is not. I used to have floor standers that I bought new. I can't remember what mate they were. You know, like they weren't like, these are fucking made of wood. No, it's not chipboard. It's fucking beech or something. You know what I mean? It's like different. Hey Alex, we just missed. We were talking about hi-fi, and you better not be fucking listening to this on a Bluetooth speaker. Hi-fi is what we want there, Alex. A shower cap over the smoke alarm and headphones. You would not be smoking in there with a shower cap over the... yeah, but that's what it's all about. The problem is, if you're going to try and... No, it's gone. It's too dark for me to find that pick again. I'll just need to find another one. But this, how much does this guitar just get? Okay, like having the reflection, that's what I'm looking at. But it's got a certain mysteriousness to it, doesn't it? Yeah, it's like not to get carried away, because I have a tendency to get carried away. I get carried away with that Skeletric stuff. Me and Scott chipped in for a 20 quid each for a box of Skeletric. It was fucking great fun. I went and I took it round to my other pal's house, had a ball with it, and then it started showing up in Facebook Marketplace. And to be fair, I probably only spent in about 20 different sections about another 100 quid. But I have so much fucking Skeletrics, it's ridiculous. That could so easily happen with amps. And the thing is, I've got backups, right? But if you've got two guitars, I've got a Strat and a Tele, you can play one or the other. There's no point in having two amps, like for your stereo, because you've got to unplug the speakers to plug in the other amp, and there's no point in having multiples of anything, which makes it difficult, because it'd be dead easy to go, if you decide you're going to have a wee go at buying stereos, you're obviously going to be able to try and buy speakers and an amp at the same time, and a record, I don't know. A PV Vampire capsule goes up to 13. As long as when you say, is it a vampire or is it a viper with a Y in it? Because I remember there was the word I'm looking for is vortex. Have you ever heard of a PV vortex? I remember playing guitar in a band, and I took my Sovtech in. You know, it's like a mini, short-sized Marshall head. You know, but it's a fucking valve amp made in Russia, so it weighs a fucking ton. So I took it in, and it was like there was this PV Vortex amp and 4x12 cabinet. So I went to take it off the top, and I nearly put my back out, because literally I'm used to lifting up the Sovtech, and it was honestly the thing weighed the same as a tennis ball, but that was a different one. A mech vapor, oh dear. Quick internet search, wall of sound. I know, I've seen it. Yes, I know. Yes. No, it's insane. I've seen the wall of sound thing is just, it's one of those things that, see, if you didn't know the pic, basically if someone did it now, you would just go, just CGI. That's Photoshop. But they actually did do it, yeah. The old Wemamps beat them all. Yeah, never mind the number, it will part the plaster from the lath. You didn't just say you've got more Skeletrix cards than me, Mr. Alex, unless you've been collecting for years. I mean, that's like it. See that white box there? That might be the one below it. Is literally just Skeletrix cards. And I've not like I've been collecting. It's not like I've been collecting them forever or anything like that. I kept buying fucking boxes of shite for 20 quid. Oh. Buckfast for breakfast and whiskey for my lunch. Yeah. Viper, for long since I use it to make motion flashing lights. So is it good? No, I just remember it's a solid state thing, but it's like in a full size. No, Viper. Now that was a Vortex. The Viper might be a good thing. I don't know, but it's so sitting there talking about. I'm not in a band, right? So why do I have? Well, I'm in a band playing bass. Sorry. Yes. So I've got a gigging bass amp. So I've got an excuse for having a gigging bass amp. There's no reason for me having another amp there. Another amp there. You know what I mean? I should have... Even... I've got my wee rolling cube for in the house. Bass amp. Amazing. I've got the 400 watt Marshall. Excessive. Don't need it. And I've got the 200 watt Marshall, which is my bass amp. I don't need any more amp. That's understandable. Guitar amps... I only need the rolling cube. I don't need any of the other ones. I'm not in a band. And the thing was, if I'm not in a band just now, I'd better keep the 30 watt Valve Orange amp for doing gigs. I could buy one if I join a band. You know what I mean? Oh. Building a massive extension to warehouse and work. Concrete going down this week. Oh, you're thinking, Joey, you're actually Stratocaster, aren't you? I keep forgetting, Joey, that you're not. I don't know how you got that name. No. 20 watt DSL. I noticed there was somebody selling the 5 watt DSL in Kirky for 150 quid. And it's just like, don't buy it. Stop it. Stop. I don't need any more amp. I don't need it. Don't stop. But it's like a 5 watt Marshall fucking Valve amp. Sounds fucking. That'd be amazing. And like I was saying before, it's like I do have... Okay, I've got one really good bass amp. But that rolling cube, for anything you can do in this room, is miles better than the massive Marshall. Playing a gig, no, the rolling cube's not loud enough. Once you get the Marshall up to so loud you can't hear the drummer, it really comes into its own, what it's designed for. I'm playing the fucking barras with no PA. That's what it's meant for, and it's fucking glorious. When you get my trousers, you play it, you can feel it in your chest. It's fucking amazing. But it doesn't do that in the house. In the house, it's got a really noisy fan, and you've got it at 1, and it's kind of broken sounding because you're not actually using the content, whereas the wee rolling cube is designed for playing at this volume, so it sounds fucking wonderful. So sometimes... And to a certain extent, the wee rolling cube for the guitar with a rat pedal on it, okay, the Orange does sound better in the room, but I can't record it the same way. And it's sitting at 1. See, when you take that into the studio and fucking take off the fucking clamps, it sounds fucking brilliant. It's what it's meant to do. It's kind of, it's almost embarrassed to play at this volume. Marshall stack cranked to 11 doesn't bother anyone. At my parents, I can hear the next door neighbour shagging, so Lord knows how long I'm going to take me up. AI, it's only a language model. The AI thing, I don't know, it's kind of... Been talking to the AI, I keep throwing up adult content more and so I'm talking about gear. Been obsessed with the Big Muff. Do you keep magazines? Do you think one day I get around to reading? You have a stockpile of a whole lot of books and mags? Not so much, no. Not really a reader. I suppose I have just moved, so I just chuck out shit there's no point in having anymore. I mean, I chucked out Lord of the Rings and stuff. I mean, I've read Lord of the Rings about 10 times, but that was when I was a teenager. Can't be bothered keeping it. Not going to do it again. The CD and DVD collection. Or to be honest, that record collection I've had for 20 years, 30 years, it's just it was in the attic, so it wasn't a record collection, it was just shite records in the attic. Now I can get at them. I mean, honestly, it's like getting a new amp and you've got more than one guitar. You've got a new amp, sounds amazing. You've got to try all the guitars through it because everything's better. I've got that just now. I've got a fucking hi-fi set up properly with the speakers a decent distance apart, all that crap. And every time I think of something to play on record, I put it on and it's just like the best I've ever heard it. It's amazing. Oh. A PV Twin, a 40 watt Fender, an Orange Micro, a 5 watt Valve Junior, and I rarely go to the open mic, just record in there. That's it. I mean, I'm kind of using the cubes as a bit of an excuse because I know it's a bit silly, but I'm sitting here thinking I've kind of got up, which I shouldn't. I like the idea of using the old one. It's like I'm telling you the truth about this guitar. So this is just this guitar. I'm not doing any post-production. I'm not playing through £1,000 worth of equipment. You know what I mean? I'm playing through a fucking Roland. That's okay. It's going through a shit mixing desk, but I mean, it could just be going straight into a fucking Temu thing, and that's what you're getting. So basically, everything you're hearing is this guitar through that Roland. It's got a little bit of like a speaker simulator on it, just so it goes straight in. It's so much easier to use, and it's good enough. And it's like, even though I'm using that as an excuse for using it for demo purposes, do you know what I mean? It's like, what does the fucking, oh, you're using your £6 Temu tube screamer? Yep. What guitar are you using? This one? And it's like, there's no extra shit put in. I'm not changing everything and putting special strings and rewinding stuff. No, fucking everything's just stock. Sound on Sound mags, I can't remember them. Not a reader. Sometimes it's good to read. Sometimes the reading's dirtier than the pictures there, Mr. Whitesnake. If you change a pickup, you try at least 2 of your amps. I get it, yeah, totally. Some people are in. It's just like there is no wrong way. It's not wrong to, you know. It's like I know, so, you know, somebody has got two guitars and 6 amps. Well, yeah, or someone's got 1 guitar and 1 amp, 6 guitars. It's like, well, it depends what it is. Excites you. Whatever it is you think is what you're doing, that's what you're going to do. It's the same thing, you know. It's like if you think a guitar looks pure shite, that guitar, it's pure gay, it's pure embarrassing. I just don't want to be seen with it. That's awful. It doesn't matter how good it sounds or looks. It's not your guitar. You know what I mean? Right, when keeping magazines, there will always be a market for the content. Yeah, because it will get fucking delayed, eh? Philosophy now. Never with Wem gear. Best of it was a Selmer treble and bass. Handled anything, plugged it. Wish I still had it. Fell for the old H&H hype back in the 70s. It's just the thing about the things like the Selmer bass and trebles. Those things used to be cheap because they used to be shit, and then they suddenly get very expensive, and then they got to the point where they're so expensive they're not worth it. Not saying that I've ever used any of them, but I do know them. Yeah. Oh, let's take to. Yeah, Kevin. No, it's like, well, I'm so much happier here. Having a bit of room as well. I know I've expanded out, but I mean, I can walk over here. Look, it's like, whoa, I can actually use a full size lead. My actual plan was to have the YouTube room in the spare bedroom. Now I've got a second bedroom, which is basically just wall to wall full of shite. Like this, a big pile. You know what I mean? Don't close the door too hard. In fact, you can't get the door closed. But if you could get the door closed, if you went dunk, you would hear a pure avalanche of shite. The plan was to put it through there, but I've actually kind of limited myself down to, I've now got the 2 cubes, which are connected straight into a wee Tapco desk that's that size, which is sitting there next to my hi-fi looking cool. Going into a USB interface, which is on top of that speaker, going into that computer, which is on the floor over there. that's my entire YouTubing thing, and there's a webcam sitting on top of the telly, and it's like, kind of like that. I kind of like the idea of doing the, if you remember Scotch and Rye, The Last Call, when he's sitting on the chair. No, he sits in the chair and he's got like the lamp beside him, and he goes, "Hello." Quite fancy doing a bit of that. My absolute moment, a 20-watt DSL 5-watt DSL 5-watt DSL Blackstar HT1 Orange Micro Terra and a rolling jazz chorus for the ladies. I'm telling you, I think there's a certain age. See my wee Cube Street, which is basically 2 speakers. It's got jazz chorus. It's a Roland. It's got 2 speakers. It's a jazz chorus. I think once you get to a certain age, the jazz chorus is cool. Yeah, the thing that is getting me a wee bit is I'm standing too close to the telly. I need to have the telly further away. So, just basically, it doesn't matter how good your amp is, if you've got a fucking massive TV sitting 2 feet in front of you, it's going to fucking pick up. You know what I mean? So, if I was standing here... So, I just need to far away. But it makes it real. I think the crappy Fender G-Dank will be live on Wednesday. I'd rather have my WEM GW Taylor. My no, it wasn't a G-Deck. See, I got it mixed up. I saw a Fender amp, and then you mentioned you'd bought the G-Deck thing, and I thought, oh, I remember, because it was down in Kilmartin, it was down in the Shire somewhere. My pal David bought that very amp. It was a Mustang 1 or something like that. So is it the G-Deck? Is that the one that's got the MIDI, the ability to play MIDI backing tracks? I can't remember. Walked into a small library and bought 1,000 books for 10. I bet you did, aye. So many PS2 planes. Oh. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it's like the computer. I mean, it's now all into the retro shit. You know, I mean, you can buy. People are buying and selling Super Nintendos with some games are worth a lot of money and shit like that. And it's like, really? I mean, it's like, if you're talking about the Xbox, like, by that point, I don't know. Did games get any better, really? Ones I can't be bothered playing? You know, I had Project Gotham on the Xbox. It was fucking amazing. Why would you want any more than that? I'm not going to like your suggestion of a Buckfast and Rye setup. Yeah, I was thinking of doing the next... Because what I did was I took the camera down there and I stuck it on here, and I've got another mic stand. I did a video the other day when I was talking about the cubes, and I quite fancied doing some recordy things, but I mean, basically I could just work my way through it. It'll take fucking forever, you know what I mean? Here's a Bax X, you know what I mean, the letter B, and just talk about them and shit. It's good fun. The G-Deck is backing track. The G-Deck is what became before the Mustang. Yes, I remember fucking Liam, you wee bastard. So he's probably not watching this, but if you are, wee bastard, you know who you are. He gave it to me. He was like, pure, I don't know. This doesn't work. It's fucked. I don't know. I don't know if you'll be able to fix it or not. So he gave it to me. Then I fucking like, oh, if it's fucking free, well, I might as well try and fix it. So I looked up, blah, 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 and changed some... there was a few components when I looked it up online that constantly blow. So I bought the components. They were a couple of £2 each. Fired them into it, and the thing was working, did a video, and then wee bastard come back and said, it's fucking great, thanks for fixing my amp, it's amazing, I thought it was dead in the bin, like, but I never got it. Anyway. But the thing was, it was old enough to have, back in the day when people used to play MIDI, you could put a MIDI player into it, and I had a MIDI backing track, which meant that my MIDI Casio, which just has a MIDI out, could just run the general MIDI bank, so you could have it plugged in and play all your MIDI things straight into it. Oh. So the original NES. I never had an NES. My pals up at the chalet had a Master System. I never had a Mega Drive. I'm trying to think if does somebody have one? And I remember buying a Super Nintendo, chipping in with my 2 wee brothers, and this must have been, it was an X display one, so instead of coming with Super Mario World, it came with F-Zero. And it was like, I think I paid 80 quid for it. I think I paid 40 and my 2 wee brothers paid 20 each or something like that. This is back when I was like 13 or something, to get the original NES. Yeah, it was fun. Line 6 Spider 4. I had the thing. It kind of soiled me against Line 6. I had the Roland Microcube Line 6 version of it, and on paper it was fucking amazing. It had like 6 different channels that you could set everything to, so it had thousands of sounds that you could plug a bass into and the guitar at the same time, and fucking everything. It just, like, of those 50 sounds it did, they were all shite. It was so annoying. So I just don't, I'm not a fan of Line 6. I know there's lots of variations, but I'm quite happy. See if you turned it on and it sounded okay, and then you fidgeted with things to make it sound better. The thing with I found with that, well, it was the shittest and smallest Line 6 was, I was just going through it, just trying to find a sound that wasn't fucking awful, and I couldn't find one. Usually when I come in with this, we have to tap out. Merry Christmas, Solstice Basic Hit. Cheers, Solstice, Andy. Catch you later, man. You have a CRT? Wow. Don't know about the G-Deck. It's the wee G-Deck Junior you're thinking about, or possibly, yeah. I mean, we're talking a bit yawn. Maybe a 1x12, maybe a 1x10. Not bigger than that. You got a telly now? Ah. Cashies sends about a house around to my parents. If it comes in Christmas, that'll be my Xmas present. Oh, the Hondo. Oh, the Hondo will be fun, yeah. With your Jobby Brown. Your Marshall 10-watt amp doesn't work. I was using it for drum output for my digital E-kit. Should I fix it? It's worth taking it to bits to have a look at. It's not worth paying to get it fixed, but I'm going to say there's a fair chance that one of the wires has come off the speaker. The power switch has broken. The actual switch, so just replace it with a fucking toggle switch. If you can find a fuse, it might be gone. Those things don't cost any money. Do you know what I mean? I would do that before you put it out, and I wouldn't bother fixing it. A 10-watt Marshall's not worth anything, unfortunately. I don't give a... I missed my pickup truck. I don't want to give a fuck. I just want a girl from me. Is that... That sounds like fucking... something Kid Rock. I've drank too much, Bucky. That sounds like a Kid Rock song. Punched at your boy in the Wii. West Tone Leader. We've talked about the West Tone Leader before, and I can't remember what it was. Is it kind of like a Pantera? I can't remember. Yeah, but Sloaney, the thing is, you'll find is there, see this whole... Oh, I like my Epiphone. Where's Paul? I've got a good one of the good Samick ones. What you got there is a Japanese guitar. And Japanese guitars are like your West Tone A20. Okay, it's nothing like as fancy. That was why I bought the West Tone Prestige 227, because all the West Tones I'd had been the cheapest ones. Oh, fucking brilliant. They just didn't have the fancy shit on them. So basically that's the thing with West Tones. The Thunder 1, the build quality is the same. It just doesn't have the fancy shit on it. So basically what you're getting there with that Hondo is like, it's going to have more, the guitar you've got closest to it's your A20. It's much fancier with all the fancy stuff on it, but it's built the same. And it'll be just as high above any Epiphone. No, Korean one. Have the Marshall Reverb 12 from the 80s needs a Fettel as the gain isn't gaining. Well, you're talking about contact cleaner or changing the pot, but those wee Reverb 12s are highly regarded. I mean, they sound all right. It's quite common to convert them into heads to run like a big cabinet. And they're fine. The games are getting long. Not anymore, Ian. No longer, Joey. That's them. They're now getting shorter. That's it. Just happened. No, sorry. The days are getting short. You mean the nights are getting long? Marshall MG10 CD. Yeah, exactly. They're fine. But it depends. How much are you paying for this? you know, you can't really buy. Hey, Irish Stew, you bought a Laney HMC 60 and use it for a gig today. Tremendous sounding amp with my SG plugged in. I bet you it is. I've got the Laney HCM 30R and it's wonderful. I bet you it's worth fucking no money. Although being 60 watts, it's probably loud enough to gig. I've got the 30 watt one. I've tried to sell it for 25 quid. No one's interested. It's like, it's a fucking good amp. You know what I mean? But the thing is, it doesn't have all the fucking effects and you don't have apps on your phone. So it's like a Gibson high-end Epiphones, but it's still my 1980 Columbus Constellation. Oh, I forgot which song probably needs a new pot. Contact later, didn't cut it. But you can try and just bend the two terminals to bypass the pot, and that'll tell you. That just means that the volume control won't work, but it'll just be at full bung. That's fine. Proper mechanical spring reverb, yeah. I think it was, I don't know, what's the one the amp I had? Have I still got it? Have I still got the Valve King? I fucking do, I've got a PV. Jesus, nobody's bought it. Where the fuck is it? I've got a PV Valve King 50 watt 2x12 all valve amp that I should sell. Aye, I had to get fixed. Aye, I forgot about that. But I don't know, my point was there, it had like a Bellcat spring reverb tank, which is the same one that you get in... What is it I've got that's got a spring... What else did I buy that had the same reverb tank in it? Was it that wee Laney? I think it might have been that wee Laney. Yeah, but proper spring reverb sounds good. Sometimes reverb can sound shite though. It's like, get it good. Now he's got a lot of Valve King. The thing is that I remember when I brought it in here, when I moved into this house, it kind of went with my TV and all the black on it. I put it down. I don't like the Valve King. It sounds too like demo. I don't know. Is it maybe too in the middle somewhere? It kind of sounds like when you go to a guitar shop and someone's demoing something. I don't know. There was something about it I didn't like. 5 kilograms. Wow, I'll sell you a Washburn Scavenger vase. It's the only guitar I've ever had that's more than 5 kilograms. I think it's intentional to make it not neck heavy because it's like a smaller body than your Hondo you just bought, like a double cut Les Paul, but it's full scale neck and the bridge is like here, so it's like just the neck is like, but because the body weighs like, I think it's 5.8 kilograms, which comes to the point of, see my double neck, the one is like a bass and a guitar made of kitchen worktop. It weighs less than a Scavenger. Oh. Do you still have the vaporizer? I do, yes. It doesn't look good in this room. I don't like being told that by Jen because I had it over there and she's like, that's fucking horrible. It's horrible anyway, but in here it's even worse. I kind of have to agree. I do like the vaporizer though. It's fantastic. You just need the right situation to have it. I kind of wish it was smaller, but then again, it couldn't be smaller. It wouldn't be the same. Do you know what I mean? Because it is only 12 watts or something like that. It's like 2x10. It's fucking amazing. It doesn't work in here. I'm plan for the future over the first 6 months of 2026. I want to have my YouTube room set up, which will be more like a professional studio. I kind of like this, as in come and hang around at Malk's house type thing, where it's like you sit there with the records in the background, maybe talking about them, and have like a couple of. My plan was maybe have half a dozen guitars in here, you know, a couple of acoustics, a couple of basses, a couple of electric guitars, just so people could walk in here, like people I didn't know, and they'd go, "Oh, you've got a lot of guitars," rather than, "Oh my God, you're a fucking psycho. What's wrong with you? I need to get out of here now." You know what I mean? Which is what it's like just now when it's just like, "Oh, there's quite a lot of 12 guitars all." Oh, I don't know Las Vegas, but they do have a Buckycaster. Night Strato talking about new TVs have a digital signal processor would make cannibalize one from a dead TV and a sine mark incorporate into guitar wiring for EQ boosting bass chorus. Probably if you were into the DSP thing. I don't know. Lady Clean channel is so clean. It's just it's a totally people don't want that. You can't control it with your app. You know what I mean? It's just like you need to be able to have all the sounds. I want to sound like Jimi Hendrix. It's like I want you. It's like no. I want to sound like Jimi Hendrix. Like, well, you still have to play it. You know what I mean? Jimi Hendrix playing through a rolling cube sounds more like Jimi Hendrix than me playing through any equipment in the world. Can you use a tube amp as an output from an electric drum kit? Why not? Yep. Why not, huh? Whoever's neon fender lights have to accept. The thing is, I saw somebody selling on Facebook Marketplace a Gibson USA neon light, and they wanted from a guitar shop. They wanted £1,000 for it. If that is worth £1,000, that's worth $5,000. You know what I mean? I can't keep it. I mean, it's Jen's. She's going to say no, you can't fucking have that. But I'm enjoying it for while it's there. I do like it. When Jen takes it away, she's going to know where to put it. Well, it wasn't on Jen's wall. It was in Jen's cupboard, and she's moving house. So at least it's being used. Do you know what I mean? Rather than just sitting in the corner. So. But that's a proper, not commercial Fender light. That's from a Fender shop. So how many are there? I don't know. In Britain, 10, 20 were made in the 70s. That's it. For the 20 shops that sell where a Fender branded, maybe more than that. Maybe however many they are, but how many before. It's literally just a piece of Perspex with a Fender sticker on it and a light button, a neon light bulb kind of in this bit at the edge that kind of lights up the edge of the Perspex. But it's pure handmade and shite. It's pure proper. Just not like modern stuff, not mass produced in any way, handmade. So has nobody else bought guitars this week? Who's buying themselves a Christmas present of a guitar? That's what I'm interested in. And who didn't buy, what was it we were looking at last week? Someone was talking about the yellow, was it a yellow P bass from Bax? It was like 55 quid. I had to restrain myself for not buying that. How can a P bass not be worth 55 quid and it's yellow? I don't know. The notice ends, yeah. Chuck should get given it from a guitar shop that closed down. He's like, but you're not putting it up. So now she's moving house. Tone lamp. I'm enjoying that lava lamp's been a nightmare. I got bought off my favourite person in the world. It keeps fusing, so I've changed the fuse a couple of times. I basically there's so fucking nothing in a lava lamp. So I was in there. There's basically a plug, right? And then a wire with a switch on it, and then 2 terminals that go on a light bulb. There's nothing else in it, so I've already blown 2 bulbs and 2 fuses. So I've kind of been bending it, so hopefully it'll just last a bit longer. I kind of like the vibe of the slightly changing redness, and I quite like this. It's quite comfortable in this darkness. I quite like it. Maybe I want to do a Buckfaster matching amp. Paint the toilet green, have a yellow grill with red knobs, might shift an unwanted amp. I have done that with a 10 watt amp. The problem is, and the guy who bought it knows this, I sold it on Great Western Roads years ago. And basically, if you paint Tolex with spray paint, it never, ever, ever dries. It's always a little bit sticky. So I have done it. So yes, the thing is, like, I can see see a rolling cube, especially a street cube, see for busking, if it was bottle green with a yellow grill with it, that alone would be worth it, but it's just not worth it for the house, I don't think. I don't think you would want one. Picked up a gold Spectra, identical to the purple one. You did a video, nice little guitar. Yes, Scott. I forgot it was called a Spectre, but Alex, who was on earlier on, who was at the pub, who's probably gone to bed now because he's probably drunk. Yes, he had one of them. It's fucking great. There's also a J-Pax one. I rate that guitar. It's kind of like it's not a Les Paul, as in it's thin and it's svelte, but it's roughly a Les Paul outline, but it's not like that fucking big heavy thing with a funny angle and all that shit. I really rate it. Oh, you bought the Big Muff too? I saw it. It sounded too... I can see why you bought it. It sounded cool as fuck. Did buy me something I thought I really wanted it. I gave it and sold it to. The THR-10 I was impressed with, but I didn't like it, but maybe just I'm not ready for it. I think there's an element of it just that the speakers aren't big enough. Once you get to a speaker where it's actually moving some air, where it's kind of doesn't have the air moving thing. Hey Ben, you bought yourself 3 Marshall heads, the Jubilee GTM, the SV20, all 20 watt heads. I mean, I don't think you should need more than 20 watts for anything. I bet you they're all fucking amazing. So if I would basically with that, I would have like a 2x12 or a 4x12 cabinet, and then some sort of unit with a big dial to switch which amp you were listening to through it. Amazing. Oh. No money. I've seen a few Aria Pro ZZ, both guitar and bass, for $400 and $500 lately. Well, there you go. You got. My Aria ZZB. When I sold the guitar, I couldn't handle the Caller on it. I needed the money. But I kept the bass because that was the bass I had when I was. I was 19 when I had that bass for a year, and I sold it to get an Epiphone SG, and it's fucking amazing. No, it's kind of not unlike it's the same year as this, 1983. So it's kind of okay. It's turquoise, but the bluey burst thing, amazing. Depends if you're. I mean, that's the thing. It's difficult to go back to. I mean, I was talking to my pal the other night. It's like I'm no longer buying Washburns and shit. I can't afford them. It's the same. I remember having the same problem with Westtones. I remember Westtone Thunders being £120 for an expensive one, £40 to £60 for a cheap one. So when it came round to a few years later, once I realised what Japanese guitar was, I didn't want to buy one for £100. I can get a fucking Westtone Thunder for £100. I never ended up not getting one because they were always less than that. Now, I mean, you're talking about paying, somebody pays £200 for a Westtone Thunder that works. Take that guitar, go into guitar and try and get a better guitar. You're at £1,000 straight up. That's it. Provided you get it that works. And it's like, right. It's a no-brainer. Oh. You bought a box of Jaffa cakes. You didn't buy the big massive box, did you? I bought there's not Jaffa cakes down there. Can you see them? I didn't think I actually bought these last week and ate them all in one. They're Cosmic Blackberry or something like that. 99p, and I don't remember what they tasted like, but I did eat the whole packet in one sitting when I bought them last week, so they must have been good. Yeah. Cheers, Ben. Catch you later. Oh, that's me. I'm at 10 o'clock. That's still in my thing, and I bought Glenfiddich and some weed. I'm just not into the whiskey. I know it's good. You have £600 in your guitar fund. What do you recommend? It has got to be single coil. It's hard to fucking put it in because you've got to just look and see what's there. You get the really good guitars by going, what can I get for £600? Not going, I want a Ibanez Roadster or I want a specific guitar. I don't know. I mean, maybe worth having a look at. See, FGN have just shut down, haven't they? They're no longer. I think they've no longer manufacturing guitars under their own brand. What kind of second-hand FGN you can get for £600? You can get the one that should be £1,800 for £600. It was a Gould LP. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It was a Gould, but it had a name. It was more than just. It's not a Gould LP. It was a. I can't remember what they called it, but it was the one. It's like it's got a fucking a name. Hey Matthew, Jaffa Bickies. Well, I'd like to find another $50 to use 70. I know it would be nice, wouldn't it? But the thing is, you've got to keep looking for these things. I mean, the last couple I've got, I've not actually had to do anything. Okay, I did have to do a lot of fixing up on this to make it work. But I mean, they are still there if you're looking for the right. This is a fucking amazing bass. I love it, even though the neck pickup doesn't work. Need to get John Letts to rewind it for me. But so that one and the Yuzuki, they didn't really need. Oh no, they did need work done to it. The Yuzuki played okay, but it had never been set up since new. It still had the fretboard had been lacquered after the frets were put in. So the frets looked fucked, but they weren't fucked. It was just because it's been lacquered over, so I had to do a fret job on it, and then it's fucking basically brand new. It's an amazing guitar. I need to look that up in eBay. Someone said they got it. A whiskey writer? Oh God, I'm sorry. One can only imagine such a thing. One of my friends used to work for the whiskey shop, and the reason he got the job is because he can talk about whiskey for any amount of time and try to be nice, and he's really good at making it interesting. He really is. Andy, it really is. It's as interesting as talking about whiskey could possibly be. It's just talking about whiskey can't ever be interesting. It's like you could get the most charismatic person or the sexiest lady to tell me all about the last week's Rangers game. It doesn't matter how they tell me about it. Even if she's got her boobs out, it's still, I don't give a shit. Epiphone 57, I had one of them, the Junior 57 with a set neck, yes. Gave it to my partner, swapped it for something. Jim Deacon Demon, it was the Epiphone corner, I can imagine that, yeah. Joey, get a J-Pax guitar. There's actually one in your budget. I mean, it's like you're talking about. So this is a Yamaha Pacifica. There's only one in the world like this. So what you could do with your money is you could buy this. It's got decent tuners on it. Get some fucking Seymour Duncans in there. Get a new bridge on it. Replace the wiring, and you've got a guitar that plays fucking amazing. Got a guitar no one else has got. Just put your own pickups in it. Fucking laughing. Easy. The weird Scottish person like American whiskey. Oh dear. I don't really that much have fun with it. I know the more expensive stuff doesn't hurt as much. Jim Beam, they're too sickly. My pal who worked in the whiskey shop was sitting in there, and it was like this guy was talking to him and asking about whiskey, and it was an American guy, a black guy, and he was sitting there like that, that's fucking Carl Weathers. This is before The Mandalorian. That's Carl Weathers. Just like that, and he was trying to ask him in so many ways, like just like he said he was trying to think of lines from Predator and shit to say to him. Well, he was talking to him for half an hour buying a whiskey, and then at the very end, blah blah blah, and he signed the fucking receipt thing, and it was Carl Weathers, and it was like that. And then he was already gone, so I never actually got to talk to him. But he did talk to him. He never got to talk to him when Carl Weathers was aware of who he was. I just thought that was pretty cool. Jim Beam Red Stag. I don't know. Maybe I just don't really like drinking that much. Maybe. Do I want another beer? I mean, to be honest, that's me giving up. It's 10 o'clock. I'm going to try and squeeze. Thanks for everyone coming in early this week, though. That was great. Normally it takes a while to get going, but I turned on it. I figured I've got 8 minutes to get myself up to speed playing the guitar before I actually hit record, and then everyone was immediately in. So, fucking great. I didn't put adverts on. Adverts have been a cunt on YouTube. I don't know. I don't have any of the options I used to have. I've either got no adverts, which means it doesn't get put out. It doesn't tell you that I've put a video out if I don't put adverts on it, because YouTube doesn't make any money from it. And they've made it from when I could choose whether I wanted a small amount of adverts, a medium amount of adverts, and a lot amount of adverts, and if I wanted adverts in the middle. I had all those choices. Also, I had a choice for skippable adverts, non-skippable adverts. So I don't want non-skippable adverts. Fuck that. I don't want you guys sitting watching 3 minutes of shite. That's gone now. We've made it easier for you. Now you don't have the choice. Now you can either have no adverts, which means that nobody will see your video, or you can have slabs of 3 minute fucking adverts, which will put everyone off. So bastards, YouTube. I'm sorry. I'll be getting flagged for this anyway. I can't monetize. Bastards. Blood pressure time. Rock on, everyone. So sorry. So I will try my best to try and get the adverts down. I've got to do it though, because if I don't do it, nobody will watch it. None of you guys will see it. So if the way around it is, if you can all, every video you see, hit the likes. If I get 100 views on every video, if I get 100 likes on every video, that'll boost my algorithm the same as having adverts on. So there's a challenge for you. Spike 'em likes, and lots of shit coming up this week. Obviously, I can't remember what it is just now. I'm going to have to sell some guitars, so I expect seeing some guitars or things I'm selling. Ads are a cunt. They are. I mean, but the thing is, it's that whole thing of once I started putting them on, I was like, ah, right, I'll just not put adverts on so I don't have to make people watch it. And then YouTube are going, oh, we're not making any money off that. Well, don't show any his videos. So it's kind of, I don't know what to do. It's like, in the middle, I don't want to fucking sit there and ask people to like and subscribe. You should be able to do that yourself and all that crap. It's really annoying. Do you, Scott, so it doesn't bother you? Name your fuzz demos. Oh, for fuck's sake. You need to give me money for that. There will be more fuzz demos. It'll be fuzz-based demos. No, I need to... I basically got to demo everything again with a better sound. But by all means... feel free to suggest any videos that do. I can say no. I can ignore you, say no, and then do it when it was my idea in 3 weeks' time. Yeah. Where do you sell your guitar? Just put them on Facebook Marketplace. Pretty much. It's the best way of doing it. Or sometimes, I don't know, it depends what I'm trying to sell. But, it'll be Christmas all. So Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy Hanukkah, happy holidays, happy whatever it is. Anything it is, winter solstice, I don't care whether it's a religious thing or not. You can say Merry Christmas to someone. Fuck it, I don't give a fuck whether you're, happy Ramadan. Yeah, totally, that's fine. Well done, whatever. If it's your thing, good luck with it. Great. Pakora. Hope Santa's good. I don't think there is a Santa this year. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anyhow, rock on. I love you all.